Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Parliament in Barbados is legally constituted even though all the Senate seats have not yet been filled. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Monday, 7th February 2022, Grenada's 48th anniversary of national independence. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Centre, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grand Anse will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. A constitutional expert in Barbados is saying the Constitution does not bar Parliament from getting on with the business of the state, even with the appointment of 3 more senators still outstanding. More in this Barbados Today news item.
The position of prominent attorney Gregory Nichols comes ahead of today's opening of the House of Assembly and on the heels of comments made by Queen's Counsel Gaff Patterson on the matter. Nichols disagrees with suggestions by his colleague that Parliament is not constituted until all 21 senators are in place, and this could delay the operation of both houses of the legislature.
I vehemently disagree with my learned friend's conclusion that Parliament is not constituted unless the Senate is comprised of 21 members. Section 35 of the Constitution of Barbados establishes Parliament as constituted by President, the Senate, and the House of Assembly. So that Section 35 of the Constitution is what establishes Parliament as the institution that we are speaking about. Section 36 speaks to the composition of the Senate. So the Senate is comprised or composes 21 senators, 12 appointed by the the President on the advice of the Prime Minister, 2 on the advice of the leading opposition, and 7 in the discretion of the President. Section 36, which speaks to the composition of the Senate, is not the section which establishes the Senate. So that the Senate establishment is in a different section. What Mr. Patterson appears to be doing is to conflate Section 35 and Section 36 to give the impression that it cannot be established unless it is fully composed. And that is not how you read the Constitution.
Nichols also cited another section of the Constitution which outlines that each House may act notwithstanding any vacancy in its membership.
Section 50, brackets 2, we call it 52, requires, or should provide, that a vacancy does not prevent the House of the Senate from acting. So that if the opposition senators have not been appointed by the President, or if all 12 senators have not been appointed on the advice of the Prime Minister, then that does not prevent the Senate from acting, because Section 52 says each House may act notwithstanding a vacancy in its membership. There is nothing that requires the full composition of Parliament to be present on its first sitting in order for Parliament to be thereafter constituted. That is rubbish.
In the meantime, the government of Barbados began the process of amending the constitution to allow for an opposition party to have power to nominate 2 senators even without an elected presence in Parliament.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley revealed that the Constitution Amendment Bill had been read and will be debated in the lower house on Tuesday and in the upper house on Wednesday. The Prime Minister said despite being heavily criticized by the Democratic Labour Party's interim president Steve Blackett for offering that party the opportunity to nominate 2 opposition senators, she's once again extending the olive branch given what's at stake.
This government has chosen to be able to give the party that has the second largest amount of votes in the election the right to be able to choose 2 senators. And in spite of the fact that the president of the Democratic Party says he needs that from me and I can't offer him anything, let us be very clear. We are thankful to the people of Barbados for the mandate that they've given this government. It is as comprehensive and complete a mandate as possible. But we believe that we have an obligation to our democracy and to the deepening and protection of our democracy to be able to afford the opportunity to the party receiving the second highest number of votes, the opportunity to not just appoint 2 senators, but if persons were reflecting and knew what they were talking about, they would know that what is at stake is not just simply the appointment of 2 senators. What is at stake as well is the appointment of a number of commissions under the Constitution, from the Electoral and Boundaries Commission that will come up during the course of the next 5 years, to the various services commission, the Administrative and General Services Commission, the Protective Services Commission, the Judicial Legal Services Commission, and a whole host of others. Now, under the current provisions of the Constitution, Section 75, it would mean that I would have the right as Prime Minister to choose all of those people. And as much as I know that I will do it in fairness and to protect the public interest, I do not believe that I should do so. And to that extent, therefore, we are going to afford them the opportunity to not only be able to choose the 2 senators, but by extension, to be able to have a say in the appointment of the different commissions.
If the Democratic Labour Party fails to accept the 2 seats, Attorney General Dale Marshall says government will pass on the offer.
If that party refuses to either facilitate the consultation or to participate in the consultation, then Her Excellency, or the Prime Minister as the case may be, will go to the next party that achieves the next highest number of votes. And when we exhaust that, then unfortunately you must act, and it is at that point that you would then rely on discretion.
Which is the current situation under Section 75 now. But as I said, I do not feel that this country, and I know that the people of Barbados will agree with me, that I should not have the right to appoint all 5 members of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission when it comes up, and I should not have the right to just appoint all members of the Services Commission without consulting the other side or the party that got the other votes. This is the right thing to do. And let's settle down and do the right thing, give the right example to our people, and recognize that Barbados remains a multi-party democracy. But yes, it has chosen to give one party all the votes on 2 occasions, all the seats on 2 occasions. But it does not change from the fact that we are a multi-party democracy.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown presented an EC $1.64 billion budget that includes no new taxes. This, he feels, will help to stimulate economic growth, a whopping 8% of which is forecast for the country.
There will be no new taxes in this budget. You know, in our position, we promised low taxes and high investments, and we have delivered. And that policy has not changed and will not change. Unless we forget, those who are now pledging to remove taxes, they are the ones who laced us with taxes over the 10-year period. We recognize that after those 2 years of economic difficulty caused by the pandemic, persons and companies, they need an ease to recover, to rebuild, to reinvigorate. We could never contemplate taxing them. If all the normal circumstances were not increasing taxes, then there would be no consideration during this time of crisis.
Concerns raised in Guyana about increase in extrajudicial killings and executions. Details in this News Source Guyana report with Gordon Mosley.
Opposition Member of Parliament and spokesman on legal affairs Roy Stilford today criticized the government for its management of the country. And he has also raised concern about what he sees as a return of extrajudicial killings in Guyana. Contributing on the final day of the budget debates, Mr. Ford said citizens have witnessed and experienced the rapid deterioration of the social and economic conditions over the past year due to poor leadership. He said since August of 2020, Guyana has descended into a state of disarray and is currently an undemocratic, oppressive petro-republic.
The Guyanese people are under attack by a series of labor violations which are aimed at the working people who have perceived to be supporters of the opposition and trade unions that represent these workers.
He observed that the government has been operating in a high-handed nature by its failure to consult when necessary with unions, commissions, and other relevant bodies.
They refuse to engage in consultation with the Guyana Teachers Union. They refuse to grant living wages for the teachers and for allowances for additional qualification for teachers. They refuse to constitute, Mr. Speaker, the police, the public, judicial, and teaching service commissions. The life of the Teaching Service Commission has expired in February 2021. The consequence of this, Mr. Speaker, is that no teacher can be promoted. Legitimate expectations of promotion are dashed.
Additionally, Senior Counsel Ford raised concern about what he sees as a seeming return of extrajudicial killings in the country. He told the Assembly that between August of 2020 to present, 3 persons were killed extrajudicially. But the killing of Oren Boston, he said, is one which is important to note.
Rather than Guyana Police Force protecting Oren Boston safely in his home, he was shot in his home, on his bed, next to his wife. Mr. Speaker, without explanation, months and months rolled by without a word from the Guyana Police Force. Maybe the Honorable Attorney General wishes to object to that also. The eventual institution of a charge of manslaughter against a policeman who allegedly would have shot and killed this man is not only an insult to the Boston family, but is a national embarrassment and disgrace.
He also highlighted other police killings since the return of the PPP to office, along with the handling of the murder probe of the Henry cousins. And he said that Guyana has regressed to the dark days.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair granaries will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.